The man lay on the ground for 48 hours, but he dared not move because behind him was a 100-meter cliff. One wrong move and he would be crushed to death. He dug his fingers into the ground, but the sand was too soft. Soon he fell toward the cliff. His hands were useless, so he had to use his face to stop himself. At that moment, the cell phone in his backpack rang. He tried to reach for it, but his body kept sliding down, so he adjusted his position, pressing his face tightly against the ground and using the other hand to continue reaching for it. Finally, he managed to grab the phone, but the next second, the man was stuck on the edge of the cliff. Soon several hours passed. The man began to break down. Suddenly he started talking to himself. It turned out he was calculating the time it took for the seawater to hit the rocks. If he could use the seawater as a buffer, he could save his life. As the countdown ended, the man leaped with all his strength. He successfully fell into the sea, but he still collided with the rocks. Ultimately, the man managed to surface. He drifted ashore and began checking his body. Then he stood up. When the man woke up, there was another wound on his head, and because he had hit his waist, his legs had lost sensation. At that moment, he suddenly remembered the phone and immediately pulled it out of his backpack. But the phone was severely waterlogged. He could only shout for help, but there was no response, so he had to tend to his wounds first. Then the man lay on the rocks and fell asleep. When he opened his eyes again, he began to observe his surroundings and saw a small island in the distance. After thinking for a moment, he strapped on his backpack and struggled to move his body. Then he swam desperately toward the island, but just as he reached halfway, his abdomen began to throb with pain. Instantly, the man vanished beneath the sea surface. He kept sinking deeper into the ocean. When his feet touched the seabed, the man thought of his wife. He then exerted all his strength to surface. In the end, the man was washed back to the cliff by the waves. But he did not give up. At that moment, he spotted a surfboard. He grabbed the surfboard and crawled toward the sea. His eyes were filled with determination, and he swam into the deep water with all his strength. Soon he used all his strength and slowly sank to the bottom of the sea. At that moment, a yacht suddenly appeared. In the end, the man was successfully rescued.